So I have said on numerous occasions that I want to be one of the greatest speakers ever. I want to be like the next Jordan Peterson or the next Hamza or whatever. But when I started making videos for this channel and I rewatched myself, to my horror and to my shock and dismay, I sound very awkward when I talk, and this is not something that is only in my head. Many people have pointed out in the comments that I sound weird, that I sound autistic or whatever, and this is not good because it does not represent who I am, because I am not like this in real life. And I believe this becomes like a problem when I am reading from a script. Like I end up talking in and sounding very robotic when I read from a script. But it is not how I am like in real life. It is not representative of who I am like. So this is something I have to work on so that I can sound more natural even when I am reading from a script. For the record, this video is unscripted so that I can kind of show you how I talk like, so that I can show you that I am like more natural. I talk with a more like charismatic flow or whatever when I am not reading off of a script. Or at least that's what I think. Because the people I hang out with in real life, they don't think I am some autistic weirdo when I talk. So this is some problem when I am reading from a script. But also, to my horror and shock and dismay, when I look at myself on my videos, especially on my thumbnails, I look like a horrible clown. And once again, it is not representative of how I am like in real life, because as I have pointed out many times, when I look at myself in the mirror, I look like a 9 out of 10. There is this saying that goes that there is this like black pill belief that if a man wants to be attractive to girls or whatever, he has to be at least a 7 out of 10. But when I look in the mirror, I am like a 9 out of 10 at least. But to my horror, when I see myself, especially in the thumbnails, I look like a 1 out of 10, and it's not how I am like in real life. I don't think people in real life think I'm a 1 out of 10. And some people might be wondering, why am I so obsessed over the way I look and the way I sound? I have made many videos where I have even pointed out that the way you look as a man doesn't really matter. What matters is what value you offer to your tribe. But the thing is, what you have to understand is I want to inspire my generation. With this channel, like the value I want to provide is inspiring others and being like a role model and telling others not to make the mistakes I have made in my life, because this is the kind of value I want to give, because this is something that makes me happy. I would be happy if this was my value. If I gave some other value, I probably would not feel fulfilled myself. This is something that is fulfilling for me. However, the problem is that I will not inspire anyone if I talk like a dork, sound like this, and if I look like a clown or something. And once again, it is not representative of how I am like in real life. In real life, I believe at least that I am more attractive and more charismatic. And once again, another reason why I am so obsessed over the way I look and the way I talk and the way I am like because yes, I want to offer value to other people through the messages that I have to say. I want to give out genuine life advice, and I think at least most of the things that I say is very useful advice. It's things that have worked for me. It's things that have made my life better, things that have made me a better person. But that message will be lost if I sound like a dork and look like a dork, because people will not pay attention to what I have to say. They will only pay attention to how I look and how I sound. And so I believe there is a huge importance to how you present yourself. And so I started this channel because I believed that I was good enough, that I sounded and looked good enough, but then to my horror, I sound mentally challenged when I speak and I look horrible, and I have to work on that. For the way I look, I have noticed that, for example, in a lot of my videos, like you can see my eyes have a negative cancel tilt, which is not okay because when I look in the mirror, like my eyes are amazing. And I don't think people notice in like real life like that I possibly have horrible eyes, because I think my eyes are good. But when I look in my videos, you just see the most blatantly obvious negative cancel tilt. And it's probably because of the angle of the camera. And so I probably need to work on a better angle. I think my eyes right now look good, but if I will rewatch myself, I will probably cringe, and I will probably realize that I am not as good looking as I was while recording. And also what I have noticed is whenever I think I am in my like dramatic zone, like whenever I have some bombshell to deliver, I feel like I feel in my mind that I am such a high value man when I spew this most like dramatic things that blow your mind. But whenever I watch myself later doing that, I notice that I look like a clown every single time I do that. Because for some reason that's when you see like those, you clearly see those, I don't really know how those are called in English. I believe it's called like dimples or something. Like even the name dimples, it's very cringe. And you can see those, and I look like a toddler. And I'm not supposed to look like that if I want to inspire my generation. Because like Jordan Peterson and Hamza, they don't look like toddler clowns or whatever. But this is what I believe. Like, I think my messages get lost because of the way I talk and look on camera, which I cannot stress enough is not representative of how I am like in real life. In real life, I am way more natural, way more smooth, way more elegant. And I want to work on being that. But maybe it's because I'm sitting right now, it's a little bit harder to talk. When I stand up, I can sound like a singing breast voice. And I sound more like Elvis Presley, but when I sit down, I kind of sound more like a robotic dork. Or something, but it's just theories I have. It's just speculations. I don't really know where the actual problem is. Which is why I guess I have to do a bunch of trial and error and see where it goes, see where the actual problem is and how I can improve this. Because once again, I believe that a lot of people ignore my valuable messages. But that's just what I believe. Maybe the messages I have to offer are fundamentally wrong and I am just stupid for thinking my messages are this gospel that everyone should hear or something. But if you see this, let me know what you think. Let me know if the way I look and sound is like good enough for you to listen to whatever I have to say.